All right, to a story that's got a lot of people talking today. Popular free dating apps such as Tinder and indeed others owned by the company Match Group are not protecting their users from sex offenders on their platforms, a new investigation has claimed. The probe took a look at more than 150 incidents of sexual assault over the past decade. It found that the majority of victims were women who met their attackers through match apps. In 10% of cases, they were paired with men who had already been accused or convicted of sex crimes. Well, Match Group, which owns over 40 of the most popular apps, says they do conduct background checks on their members, but only for paid accounts. Furthermore, the company claims that they do not agree with the investigation's results.
The implication that we know about such offenders on our site and don't fight to keep them off is as outrageous as it is false. As technology evolves, we will continue to aggressively deploy new tools to eradicate bad actors, including users of our free products, where we are not able to obtain sufficient and reliable information to make meaningful background checks possible.
Chadwick Moore, a Spectator magazine journalist, and Reese, women's rights advocate, gave us their thoughts on dating platforms and their screening policies.
The Match Group is a $1 billion company. There's no reason why they couldn't allocate just a small portion of their revenue to screen the people on their app, just so that there's just a smaller sense of increased safety. It's a precaution, it's a measure, but it's deserved.
If they're suddenly saying that we want, in order to join this service, we want to perform background checks on everyone who joins, first of all, that would kill the business, and they know it.
There's a moral responsibility on these companies that are making billions of dollars, $1.7 billion from women looking for love, to say, oh, you know what, it's too expensive for us to do a little bit to protect you.
Nobody's going to want to join these apps with these kind of, if they're being this invasive about background checks. With that said, people maybe shouldn't be on them, especially women. And not only are these apps dangerous for women, but it's destroying women. So just get off the dating apps if you don't perform your own background checks in your own time with your own money. Get off.
We're not going to restrict women from using the internet because there are predators. We do deserve for these companies to at least take the step into the right direction.
Why do you want to put that kind of power on these monolithic tech companies? I'm not saying, ban women from dating apps. I'm simply saying you shouldn't rely on this. And you can't trust these companies to tell you who's good and who's bad. You need to take that into your own hands. So if you meet someone, do a background check before you go out on a date.
If they work in tandem with the courts to get the names, at least of the first and last names and the location of where these people are, and perhaps create some type of monitor of their internet, that's a step in the right direction.
It's going to be a mess, I think, no matter what. And there's always going to be people who perhaps squeak through or don't get picked up, who then commit assaults and crimes. Get a gun, ladies. Protect yourselves. And and by the way, these incidences are obviously extremely rare. By and large, the vast majority of men are not sexual predators.
One woman is enough. We need the companies to take a moral stance, or at least have some sort of responsibility to protect the women that utilize their app.
And then what happens? It's never going to be a perfect system.